It's Scott from my Tips and Tricks channel. Today's tip and trick is going to be focused on the stuck nozzle on the garden hose, which is a real pain in the butt sometimes. We want to change that out sometimes and, maybe put a water sprinkler on it or something like that or whatever. And you can't get the nozzle off the hose. It's like welded on there. You can take channel locks that go in opposite directions and it's still not going to work, no matter what strength you put on it. And usually if you put too much strength on it, it's just going to bend, and next thing you know, you got a bad end and you have to replace it. There is also another tip in here that shows you what to do, really simple, to prevent this from happening in the future. So let's go to the video. Okay, so our tools for today will be a pair of snips to cut the hose, channel lock wrench to help secure the nozzle onto the male mender, the hose repair male mender from Orbit, jar of Vaseline to help lubricate the threads and wash up the nozzle before we twist it on there, and an all-purpose cleaner with a clean rag or paper towel to clean the end of the hose for the application. As you can see, we cut the hose, cleaned off the tip, a little water in there, let me get that out of there. And basically we're going to put the male mender by Orbit on here, and I'll show you how it's done. So I wasn't able to show you exactly how I did it, but I just basically put it in the female receptacle and put a lot of pressure on it. And right now what we're going to do, we're going to put on the nozzle and then test it for leaks. So in hindsight, this failure right here, if we were to do a root cause analysis on it to see what can we do to prevent this from happening in the future, we can actually take Vaseline first, which I didn't do with that one obviously, and we could put it inside on the washer and the threads before we put it to the end of the hose. Okay, so I just took this right here, I put the nozzle on, actually held this part of the hose with a pair of channel locks, and I just tightened it right here. Made it nice and tight, made a snug fit. Let's put the water pressure on and say our prayers, see if it works. Pressure's on, and I have no leaks. Just to show you the pressure's on. So we got a really good repair here with this product. It works really well, and it was really easy to do. Okay, so let's recap, shall we? Our situation today was a stuck nozzle on a garden hose. Our fix, we identified a good hose mender product that on the market today, which when correctly installed works very well, and also helps us save money. Then we went over the proper installation procedure and actually tested the application successfully, and it worked. We also shared a tip on how we could prevent a stuck hose in the future by applying a lubricant to the threads and the washer of the nozzle before the actual application, and that'll make it easier to take it off in the future. With that said, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.